In this video, we're going to show you how to install a door lock actuator on your Ford Explorer located in the rear doors. Behind the door handle here, we're going to use our pick and this little cover back here. We want to go ahead and pop this off. You can use a pocket screwdriver as well, a little flathead screwdriver. Pop that out. That's going to expose a 10mm bolt here. Eventually we're going to go ahead and loosen and remove that. Down here on the door handle pull, there's another little cover down here. I'm going to use our pick. You can use a little pocket screwdriver on this as well. But pop that and slide that out. There's two little tabs on the top that locks into. Inside here there's a 10mm bolt. Loosen that one there. And let's go ahead and loosen the upper bolt here. On the bottom of the door panel are two 7mm screws. Loosen and remove those. On the back of the door pillar here, you want to go ahead and pop this trim cover off. So put your finger between the gasket and the trim and just pull it. You're undoing the three metal tabs securing this to the door shell. You want to get your fingers behind the door panel itself and just give it a little tug. And what we're doing is we're dislodging the plastic push pins, securing this to the door shell. Once the door panel is free floating, go ahead and pull that up and off. Your door lock button here will pop out. I want to go ahead and undo our cable right here. In order to release the cable here, there's two little pins or latches on the back side we're going to release with our pliers. Once you get that out, slide the cable off to the side, and we're going to pull out the barrel end here. Now we're using our pliers to pinch these two little tabs right here to release that cable end. Go ahead and set that aside. Go ahead and disconnect the electrical connector. There's a little tab. Now you can take the door panel, set that aside. Go ahead and remove the water shield here. Now there's an adhesive strip around here holding this in place. What I like to do is use a fresh razor blade and just cut the insulator, not the water shield. It's a self-adhesive material, so you can actually reuse it. Just going to do this all the way around the perimeter. Now before you start to remove the components up inside the door here and removing screws and hardware, highly recommended that you take some rags or towels and tuck them down inside the door panel and fill up any of the lower gaps that are down inside. For any reason, if you should drop any of the screws or hardware down inside, it makes it a real challenge to get it down inside the door. You could lose those pieces and you don't want that to happen. The next step is to remove our exterior door handle on the rear door. In order to do that, we have to go ahead and move the door gasket out of the way. Right behind here is the access port to gain access to the nut supporting or locking that in place. So what we're going to do is use our trim tool, and we want to pop out the plastic retainers here holding the weather stripping in place. So we went ahead and removed these two plastic pins here, allowing us to gain access to this cover right here. It's just a piece of tape. I'm going to go ahead and peel this off. Normally this is not a reusable patch, so we'll just put some tape over that afterwards. Using a T20 Torx bit with an extension, I'm going to go inside. With the screw out, we'll go ahead and pull that handle. Pull our base. Just work that until we get that out. Using a T25 Torx bit, we're just going to loosen this. What we can do is push this over and push that in. Using a T30 Torx bit, I want to go ahead and loosen and remove these 3 screws here. Before we remove these 3 screws here, we're going to go ahead and separate the actuator rod from the actuator itself. Now on the inside of the door, we're going to find this little green lock tab here with the actuator rod coming down into it. This is a clamshell style lock, so we're going to use our pick and then come around to the outside of it here and just pull on the edge of that. There we go. We have that opened up now, so we can remove that actuator rod. Remove the Torx screws completely. Now there's a 10mm bolt right here. This secures the glass guide in place. I'm going to go ahead and loosen and remove this bolt here. Now with that glass guide a little loose here, we're going to reach inside and we're going to go ahead and push in this rubber grommet. Drop this down. Now this right here, we have the dual lock actuator power. There's a little push tab on the other side. We're going to push in on that little tab. Remove that connector. With that separated, we can now focus right here. We have a little cover right here. We're prying out our cable. And the little cover pops off and that exposes our cable end here. We're going to unhook it. And now we should be able to work this out. And there you have it. Now we have the actuator here with the door handle bracket assembly. We need to separate the door handle bracket assembly, and there's 2 points that it's connected. One right here, which has like a little hook on it. We're going to have to separate that. And on the other end down here, there's another section. Now what we're looking at is there's a piece right here that goes into the door handle bracket. And there's a little latching hook right here. Now you can gently push in on this. Now I'm using a pick. You can use a pocket screwdriver. You'll push in on that and slide that out. You can see how that unhooked right there. I'm going to try and keep this together so you can see the other side when we undo it. You have to take this component and slide it out. You got to rock it a little bit like that. Now the dual lock rod, go ahead and take that. Just going to rotate that and unhook it like so. Now installing your door lock rod here. You want to install this and fold it upward. You want to make sure that is going up behind our connector here. Insert that, spin this around, and get this locked in. Install the rod. Install the unit. Let's get our cable end installed. As we position this up and around, we want to run our connector over the cable the way it was originally run and press it in. We have the rubber grommet. We're just going to pop through right here. Now with my left hand inside the door shell, I'm grabbing that door handle bracket itself. And out here, I'm going to try and line everything up. There's two little tabs right here. We want those to be on the outside, as well as that screw locking in there. I'm just using a pair of pliers to go ahead and pull this through, get that screw to line up. Let's go ahead and snug down that Torx bit screw there. Line up our latch. I just want to get these 3 screws started. Let's go ahead and snug these down. Install our door handle. Install our chrome trim. Install the screw. And once that bottoms out, just give it a little bit more. Don't have to make it super, super tight. Let's go ahead and put a piece of tape over that hole there. And once you have that tape on there and sealed up, go ahead and install our push pins for our door seals. Lock that into place. Take the bolt, anchor your glass guide here. Once that bottoms out, just give it a little bit more. And take your door lock rod, pop that up into position. And I'm just going to line up the seal here where it was before and press that into place. For any reason, if yours is no longer sticky, the adhesive has deteriorated to the point where it's no longer good, simply use some tape and run around the perimeter and seal this up. Install the connector onto your panel switch. You can hear and feel it snap into place. Next we'll install our door cable. Slip the barrel end in, bring it around to the side, and then push it in. Now at this point we can take the door panel, we're going to bring it up, put in the door lock button. You want to insert that in. Now that you have the door lock button in place, I'm going to go ahead and set the top into the door while pulling out on the bottom. And then we can go ahead and push this down and into place. And then we'll go ahead and push that door panel in. We're going to work our way around the perimeter, pushing in the plastic retainer clips. Run your fingers around the edges, make sure that the door panel is fully seated all the way across the bottom and up the other side. And the door panel is set into place. Let's install our 2 bolts. Snug that down. Let's go ahead and get our upper bolt installed. Snug that in. And install your upper fill panel here, a little plastic cover. Snap that into place. We'll go to the bottom one here. Make sure that the 2 little tabs are facing upwards, so you're going to put it up and in and snap that into place. Install the 2 lower 7mm screws. Gently snug those into place. You don't want to over tighten these. Install your upper panel. You're just going to get these 3 metal clips into these slots in the door. Snap that on. Once you have that panel on, you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.